This video will cover the transferring of the reviewer's approval settings and comments from their submittal copy of the project back to the detailer's originating or source project. I will begin with our opened modeling window on the engineer's submitted project. We can see that there are some members that have been reviewed just by the colors. The red rejected members and the yellow approved as noted members have had comments added to the approval comments properties. We can either select the members before running the status transfer, or we can select them after. I'm going to perform a pre-selection method. Now, this next step is not absolutely necessary, but it makes it a little easier to select only the members that I want to have their data exported. I'm going to add to the current status display configuration a condition to mask any members that are not reviewed. Next, select only the members that I wish to have their data exported. Since I have these members selected, I can now run the McNamara Salvia review report. Please see the updating toolbar and plugin video for more information on this report. This report can be shipped with the return submittal along with the status transfer XML and any marked up drawings and sketches. Back to the status and property data transfer. I will run the Status Transfer Only tool. You do not need to run the full transfer tool for this option. You're going to set the export import to full station regardless of the station type you are in or sending to. All this function does is disable the tabs as per station, but if any fields in the tab are selected and the tab is disabled, the data will still be exported. That's why I suggest to leave it to a full station. We are going to export a file. For the data source, I will use members, since we're selecting from the model. Next, I will clear all the selected items on each tab. SDS2 does have functionality to avoid a date from being overwritten with previous dates, and populated fields in the model to not be overwritten with blank values from the XML, but why take the risk? For McNamara Salvia, I will set in the Status tab the approval status, and in the Approval tab in the Primary Approval Information group, I will set the Approved By, Approved Date, and Approval Comments. You can also zip the file on export, but I'll leave that unchecked. Note that the setting will be retained the next time you run the status transfer. The system is now prompting you to select members. I've already done that, but if you want, you can add or remove from selection at this point. Or, if you've not selected anything, you can do it now. Since I have what I want selected, I'm just going to right-click OK. Now, I will send this data to my desktop and then name the folder Submittal ABC. When I open the Submittal ABC folder, I can see the dated XML file. When I open the XML file, we can see that our status and property data is populated within the file. Now we move to the detailer's originating or source model and importing the status and property data into their project. I'm going to run the status on the model so we can see that none of the approval settings are populated on this model. Next, I will run the status transfer only. Notice that my previous settings were remembered as previously mentioned. In the detailer's case, they may have different stored settings, so they will go through the same setting process that was done by the reviewing engineer on export. First, set the value to import. Data source will be disabled since the XML file is the only data source. I will verify the fields to be imported. Approval status, approved by, approved date, and approval comments. As a backup, I will print the report just in case. OK to close the screen and move to the next step. which is find and select the XML file. Once the process is complete, we'll see that a report is generated, and we will also see the member colors updated as per the status configuration. When we review the member, we can see that all the data is there. Now the detailer can also, if they choose, run the McNamara report if they have it set up and choose to do so. This concludes the status transfer portion of the process.